Trinity Sport. So if you're here for another 10-15 minutes of just complete core work. So everything is focused around this area, abs, obliques, a little bit of lower back, a little bit of glutes, and hopefully we're going to progress on from a few things we did last week. Okay, so we're just going to get straight into a bit of a loosener upper, a bit of a warm up, just to really get those areas that we're going to target ready to go. So if you want to come lengthways, all you'll need is a mat, by the way, for today. So just grab a mat and have a little bit of space. Come lengthways along your mat. I want you to get your hands down underneath your shoulders, just like so, in a nice straight line, and your knees directly underneath your hips. From there, I just want you to depress your shoulders, and by that I mean down and back up. So there's no bend in the elbow here. You're just literally depressing the shoulders down and up. You're not going to have a ton of range, just a few inches either way. And then what you can do after a few of those, so you can be doing this alongside with me, after a few of those, turn into circles. Okay, so you can do one forward, one back. Again, very limited range, it's a small joint, but just use what you have. Okay, after a few of those, watch my toes. I want you to tuck your toes under like so. And you can watch the first one or two of these and then you can join in when you're ready. But we're going to take our knees up and we're going to do a downward dog. So obviously it's a position taken from yoga, but it stems from this position. So you lean back, nice stretch into the calves, into the hamstrings, really reaching out in front with the shoulders. And then come back down, pop those knees back down, take a little break and go again. But keep the toes tucked under. Okay, so off you go. You can join in whenever you're ready. If you need to make that like a shallower movement, by all means do. You don't necessarily have to come up to a full downward dog. If you're comfortable in that position, you can stay here. You can do some shoulder wiggles here. And come back down. Do one or two more of those for me, folks. Hinging back. Trying to get a little bit further into that stretch each time. Last one. Hinge back. And back to this position here. Knees just underneath the hips, hands under the shoulders. Okay, from here we're going to lie down completely. Keep the hands where they are. You can drop your hips and your thighs to the floor. And from here we're going to do a kind of an up dog. So you can uncurl your toes. Your toes are now flat. And you're going to push up as high as you can. If you can straighten out the arms, straighten them out. If not, you can have a slight bend like so. And then back down, nice and smooth. And again, pushing up. The goal here to get a nice stretch down the front of your body. Abs and hips getting a really, really good stretch. Pushing up, looking back as far as you feel comfortable. Back down. You might even do some side to side movements. So as you push up when you're up here, you can kind of lean one shoulder and hip forward. Then do the other. And back down. Let's do one more. All the way up. Good stretch. And back down. From here, we're going to lean back into child's pose. So two knees come up. Hands go out in front. Head goes down. Not a lot of tension through the hands. Just let them relax there. Really lengthen the spine. And come on, shake them out. Okay, so there's just a few exercises just to loosen up. You'll probably notice a lot of that was wrist and shoulder because we're going to be on our elbows and our hands for a few different exercises, but also we were kind of getting the hips and the abs ready to go too. So our first exercise, we're going to be in a mountain climber position, so as if you're about to do a press up. So you're going to want your hands underneath the shoulders, up into this position here, and we're going to do slow mountain climbers. So a lot of people do these for cardio. We're just going to do slow ones, just like this. Okay? So you want the abs locked tight, knee coming up underneath the chest. And we're going to get straight into it, okay? And I'll keep talking. So let's go for 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So you're in this position. You've got a little bit of pressure going down through the hands, just to maintain that integrity in the upper back. And obviously we're really squeezing those abs tight to keep the integrity in the lower back. So a nice straight line, hopefully, from the shoulders down to the heels, and the knee is coming up underneath the chest. As high as you can get it, nice and controlled, slow movement. Nearly there, folks. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the knees back down, shake the hands out. All right, next exercise. I'm going to drop there into a plank on your elbows, okay? Similar position, so the elbow will be directly underneath the shoulder. You'll be in a full plank position, like so. What we're going to do is we're going to bring the knees down, rest on the knees, and then back up to a full plank. Down and back up. So it's going to seem like a hold at times, but also we've got repetitions to go through as well. Okay? So when you're ready, 3, 2, 1, into your front plank position, hands down, elbows down, into a full plank. Drop the knees, put a little bit of weight on them, and then extend. Drop the knees and extend. Now, if you want to make this a little bit tougher, put less weight through those knees when they touch the floor. So just tap the floor and come back up. Tap the floor, come back up. You're trying to find really good alignment each time you come back to that full plank. Deep breaths in and out. Keep those abs squeezing tight. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Take some pressure off the hands and the elbows. Come onto your back here now. So we're going to do some windscreen wipers. So basically we're going to bring in our obliques and a little bit of lateral movement. So hands out to the sides. We're going to take our knees to a 90-degree bend like so. And you're going to start by bringing them left and right, just like this. Okay, so the goal is to keep the shoulders down, but get lots of left to right movement. Okay, join in when you're ready. 3, 2, 1, off you go. So the knees are moving and the hips are moving. Your tailbone will come off the floor at times, but you're trying your best to keep the shoulders and the upper back glued to that floor. So the hands are there to stabilize, but don't actually let the arms help out too much. So you don't want a big push coming from the hands. You want most of that pressure coming from down here. Nearly there, folks. 1 or 2 more. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the legs down. Either just drop them back to the floor, or if you want, maybe pull them up to the chest for a few seconds. We're going to do each of those exercises one more time. Okay, so just take a quick breather here. Relax the abs. We're trying to always, with these kind of classes, we're trying to keep the quality over the quantity. So give your abs the break if they need to. Okay, so our first exercise, we're back in a full mountain climber position. We're going for 30 seconds of knees coming up to the chest. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Straight into it. Now, no rush. We're trying to keep lots of tension on the abs. So we're trying to keep our rest periods to a minimum. But take them if you need them, okay? Especially if you get a lot of pressure here in your lower back. So if you can, I'm doing a lot of talking, but if you can, try breathe out every time that knee comes up. So, like so, okay? If you can empty your lungs when that knee comes up, you'll get a much, much stronger contraction in the abs. You have 3 seconds, 2, and 1. Drop the knees down. Alrighty, next one, we had our elbows down. We were in a plank position on our elbows and our forearms, and we were trying to engage our abs kind of to a higher and lower intensity because we were doing full plank to knees to full plank. Okay, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Full plank. Wait till you feel solid. Drop the knees, back up. Drop the knees, back up. So you're training your abs in a method of kind of how to increase their intensity, how to increase the required contraction when you increase the demand. So every time those knees come up, you're asking a little bit more of your abs. Every time they go down, they get a kind of a reduction in tension. So if you want to be cruel, you're barely tapping those knees. If you need the rest, leave them down here for a little bit longer. 4 seconds, 3, 2, and 1. Sit back. Okay, and then our last one, we were on our backs, 2 hands out to the sides, very little pressure going through those fingers, and our legs are going left to right. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So, if you're happy enough doing them like this, with the knees bent, maybe try and make it a little bit tougher. So you could kind of extend the knees a little bit, take them all the way out to the sides, make sure those shoulders aren't starting to come up just because you've done that now, and make sure the hands aren't helping out loads either. So make any of these exercises tougher if you like, as long as you're happy you're still doing proper technique. Maybe there. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Same as before, either drop them to the floor or pull the 2 knees in. Just switch off for a few seconds. Take a breather. That's your first little block done. So you've done your warm-up, you've done your first block. So we have another block to do, and then a kind of a challenge to finish off on. So your second block, we'll start off with a side plank position. So elbow lengthways, elbow and forearm lengthways along your mat. 2 feet stacked, like so. Last week we did dips where we went down and up. Now we're going to try bringing a little bit of rotation. If it's too much for you, just hold the side plank. So you'll be in this position, and if you can't do the twist, just come back to this position, okay? But if you can, this is the goal. Twist under and back, like so. So you're bringing in a little bit of rotation, but by keeping those hips up off the ground, you're still getting obliques. Okay, let's go for 20 seconds, folks. 3, 2, 1. Up you go. Find your side plank position. Then bring in that twist. Twist it under, back to this nice alignment each and every time. Really switching on the obliques. So these muscles down here, the ones closest to the floor, they should be working very hard to maintain that position. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Brilliant. Okay, just pivot around, opposite side. 2 feet stacked. Elbow and forearm down. 20 seconds opposite side. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Hand goes up. Twist and under. Nice deep breaths as you work your way through that movement. Twist and under. And back. Nearly there, folks. Nearly there. Keep the control. We're not looking to bang out 20 of these. I'd rather do just a handful. Make sure they're good, controlled exercises. 3, 2, and 1. Rest down. Alrighty, next we're going to do a little something that takes some of the pressure off the abs. We're going to focus on the lower back. So I want you to lie completely face down on your mat, like so. Hands just to temples. Your toes are staying in contact with the floor. And we're going to peel our body up, just our chest up off the floor to switch on our lower back. Maybe a little bit of our glutes as well. So it's going to look like this. Okay, again, not a lot of movement. You're only talking about a few inches here, but it's a really, really good exercise for lower back health. So let's go for 30 seconds. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Peeling that chest up off the floor, keeping the toes down in contact with the floor. Nice and smooth. Coming up 1 centimeter at a time, going back down 1 centimeter at a time. So you should feel muscles down in your lower back really starting to switch on. Try not to do a jerky movement. Keep it smooth up, smooth back down. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Something I always like to do after that exercise is just shift that weight back into child's pose, okay? Give the lower back a bit of a break. Really good exercise to do, really beneficial exercise for anyone who sits down a lot of the day, the working day, if they're at a desk a lot. Just helps strengthen an area that you don't typically target in the gym. Okay, and then our last exercise in this group is our leg curls. So we did this week 1, I think we're in week 3 now, so I think that was week 1 we did it. Hands were down like so, and we curled our legs in and back out. We'll take it up a notch today. If you're ready for it, you can either keep the hands there if you want, or let's go elbows. So just by having elbows, then you have a little bit less help. Okay, the goal is still the same. Knees in, knees out. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Knees in, legs go all the way back out.
I'm not sure how to help with that.
That's it, curling in and back out. Try your best to breathe out as the knees come in. Minimal help from those elbows. They're just keeping you down on the ground. Nearly there. Keep the control. Take breaks if you need to. If it's all gone to the lower back, just take a break. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Okay, give the abs a quick breather. So that's quite a 360 kind of block of exercises, because the first 2 exercises get the hips, then you get the lower back, then that last one you're definitely getting the front of the abs and a little bit lower down. Okay, so we're back to our side plank. One more round of each of those exercises. So get into your side plank position, hand goes up towards the ceiling, and we're doing our twists. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Side plank, twist under. So you're almost going into a front plank position each and every time. So you twist under, almost as if you're touching the floor, kind of behind you even. So make sure that top shoulder is coming with you. There's no point doing something like this with just the arm. Okay, so bring the shoulder under. Last 3, 2, and 1. Super. Pivot around. Stack the other 2 feet. Not the other 2 feet. Stack the same 2 feet the other way around. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Up you go. Fingers to the ceiling. Twist under. Bring it back. Always coming back to that perfect straight line right through the center of your body. Okay, so you're trying to keep that side plank position. You're trying to throw in this twist just to bring it on a bit from last week. Nearly there. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, last 1, and 1. Brilliant. Okay, we have our lower back exercise. Stomach and chest down on the floor. Remember, toes must stay in contact with the floor. Fingers to the temples. 3, 2, 1. 30 seconds, off you go. Peeling that chest up 1 centimeter at a time. Really targeting your lower back area. maybe a little bit of your glutes as well. If you're kind of weaker in the glutes, you'll feel this. If you want to make it a bit tougher, just be careful, but if you want to make it tougher, bring the hands out in front. That extra length of your lever will definitely add some pressure down on the lower back. Making sure it's smooth and not a jerky movement. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Same as before, let's hinge back into child's pose, just for a few seconds. Give the lower back a break. Let the heart rate come down. If you've been going non-stop, maybe your heart rate's up a little bit too. And then our last exercise in this group was our leg curls. So, 2 hands down if you need them. If not, we're going elbows down. If you're ready, even try hands on the chest so you've no help. 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we're not going to straighten the legs at the top. We're still going knees in and only straighten the legs out when they get down towards the floor. The only variable I want you to play with today is what your hands are doing. So this would be easy, this would be medium. Then if you've got the strength, try something a little bit more challenging, like so. 10 seconds, folks. Get that tailbone up each and every time. And stop and take breaks if that pressure's gone to your lower back. Last 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Drop the legs down or hug them into the chest, one or the other. Take a break. That's your second block of exercises done. And you have one thing left to do. That's not even a full block. It's just one exercise that we're going to do twice. So it's a really good exercise for kind of bringing in upper abs and lower abs at the same time. So what I want you to do is lie lengthways along your mat. You can watch me, and I'll demo a few of them. You're going to interlink your hands like so, as if you had a weight. If you have something heavy nearby, you can grab it if you like. But for the moment, even just interlink your hands like so, over the head. What you're going to do is you're going to crunch your shoulders and your upper back off the floor to meet one leg or both your legs. So if you do one leg, it'll look like this, and you can just swap each time. Okay? Or you can make it a little bit more of a challenge and do both your legs and back down. Now I don't want you to grab your knees, so you're not really hugging, you're just shadowing over them and back down. Okay? So really full abdominal work going on here. Okay, let's go for 30 seconds. Start with the single leg one, and if it feels too easy, bring it up to the 2-legged one. 3, 2, 1. So the hands start over the head, off you go everybody. Opening that body, crunching all the way up. So the 2 things that have to happen here, the shoulders need to leave the floor, otherwise those upper abdominals don't switch on. And the tailbone needs to leave the floor. Even if you don't single leg, tailbone needs to come up, otherwise those lower abs aren't switching on. Nearly there, big breath out. Every time you shorten into this position, breathe out. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax down. Take a breather, okay? That's a lot of demand to put on one area, especially when it's full length of the abdominals. So take a breather. We're going to do one more round of that. We'll go for 30 seconds again. If you're stuck with single leg, maybe venture up and try a double leg. Doesn't even have to be a full set. You could do left leg, right leg, double leg, left leg, right leg, double leg, something like that. Just to test the water, see if you're able for it. Okay, lying flat, pointing your toes, make yourself as long as possible. 2 hands interlinked above the head. Deep breath in before we start. 3, 2, 1. Let's go. This is your last exercise. Last 30 seconds. Let's try to keep those heels off the floor. Those of you who are doing double leg. Emptying the lungs each and every time you come up, everybody. There you go. Really opening the body. Really tight contraction in the abs. Last few seconds. Squeeze out those last few reps. These are the ones that really give you those strength developments. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And relax. Brilliant work, Evan. Well done. Take a well-earned rest now. Okay, take a few seconds. Stay lying down. Leave the abs completely switched off. So bring your heels to the mat. Take the pressure off the abs. Fill the lungs. A few deep breaths. Like I said, if you were doing that non-stop alongside me, heart rate should be up a little bit as well. But hopefully you've got this kind of localized burn down here around the abs, around the obliques as well. So, 2 really good stretches for you today. What I want you to do first is maybe come lengthways along your mat. If you want to take your left leg, pop your left leg up in front like so. So you've got this 90-degree bend here, and a 90-degree bend in your right leg that's still down on the mat. We're going to stay nice and tall, and then I want you to lean forward So you get this stretch. So if your left leg is out in front, you start to feel the stretch at the top of your right. Just here where the leg meets the hip. So you'll feel a stretch there. Once you have that stretch, I want you to then take the right hand and bring it over to the left hand side of the body. So if your left leg is out in front, it should be your right hand that's coming up over top. You'll get this really nice stretch that goes from the armpit down through the ribs, down through the abs, into the hip. And release. Okay. Obviously we're going to do the opposite side, so let's get the right leg up in front. I'll pivot so you can see it. Right leg is now up in front. Stay nice and tall. Lean forward. Get this really good stretch in the top of your left leg now. Okay, once you have that stretch, take your left hand, reach it over to the right hand side of your body. Feel that stretch. Starts up here in the armpit, down through the ribs, into the obliques, the abs, and finishes in the hip flexor. A lot of the areas we just challenged. And release. Okay, then just bring it back to center. Put a little bit of a gap. You're still kneeling, but put a bit of a gap between your legs. Okay, and just twist. So the gap between the legs is just to make you a little bit more sturdy, more balanced. Then you're twisting in the upper body just to loosen up. We just spent the last 10-15 minutes putting a lot of tension into that area. Now we're just getting rid of that tension. Okay, and then maybe just because we did a lot on our wrists and our elbows, a couple of circles and shake it out. Alrighty, smash work everyone. There's another core workout. Super fast, super effective. If it was too easy, restart that video right now and go again. Okay, we're going to keep building on it each week, but hopefully trying to keep it relatively short. So if you did that alongside me today and you put it up on Instagram or Facebook, make sure you give Trinity Sport the tag. And I'll see you all during the week for another workout. Thanks a minute. See you later.